Hey, what is up, Sooner Nation?
What's up?
Sooner Surge, welcome to another nightly edition of the Double Trouble. Big shout out to Kyla Anderson, who has joined the Sooner Surge Unlimited. And
Appreciate it.
that option is up for anyone. Hunter's going to drop that link in there. Kyla has taken that next step. Kyla, make sure you join the Discord and get all the perks of being a Sooner Surge Unlimited member. Late like your coworkers.
Were
Hey,
we late? Were we late?
Jay, as I tell my students in class, if I walk in after the bell, when they say that I'm late, no, I'm never late. Class starts when I get there. Yeah, dock our pay. Go for it. Yeah,
Niners.
double it or dock it. It's the same either way.
What do you think about Jay's comment there?
Jay's Joan about Dan Campbell's trash is a little bit overboard. Dan Campbell's the coach of the year.
Bad decision, though, to not kick the field goal.
Bad decision, yes.
I think you got to kick the field goal, man. You got
to say Dan Campbell is trash is a way big of a hyperbolic statement.
Yeah, it was a pretty good day of football. I would have liked to have seen Chiefs and Lions probably, just because the Lions have never won it. But I think Chiefs are winning the whole thing. So I don't think anybody's gonna stop Mahomes.
It's a quarterback league, Jay. It's a quarterback league. And about Dan Campbell, first off,
you say it's a quarterback. Wait. You said it's a quarterback league that Brock Purdy just made the Super Bowl.
Brock Purdy, I agree, made some heck of scrambles though.
He did. He did make some huge plays with his feet.
Jay, Dan Campbell, in my opinion, is one of the best coaches in the league right now. And yes, there's some questionable things, but he didn't drop the balls that they dropped. I promise you that.
Yeah. Hey, what he's done in Detroit's almost unfathomable. I mean, seriously. So
did you say unfathomable? Unfathomable is not a word.
But. Yeah, 6 Sooners in the Super Bowl. That's correct. The most of any school, I think I read today. Jackson said, "What's up, guys? This junior day was huge." It was. We're going to talk about it tonight.
Bobby Sable, welcome.
2 Big 12 QBs in the Super Bowl. That's true. That's true. I would have never thought it would have been Brock Purdy, though. Never, ever, ever.
Nope.
I've thought that.
What a turnaround. It's the biggest. It was the biggest comeback in conference championship history. Fact.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember the Bills Oilers game. That was not conference championship, was it?
No. I actually think the Chiefs are going to win, Chief T-Bird.
Yeah, and I know Chuck is a big Niners fan. He's on here tonight. Big win for Chuck. He's probably watching the post game right now.
Brock Purdy made the plays with his feet tonight. That was the difference.
Hey, no need to apologize.
No need to apologize. Some news today for OU fans, Jay.
What do you want to talk about first?
I said there was some news today for OU fans.
Okay, go with it.
Now, listen, I can say what I was saying in the Discord, but I know a lot of people think that was hogwash what I said. But yeah, Landon Hatchet removed his name from the portal. He dropped the Go Dogs Purple Rain. I, for one, do not think that affects Garen Hatchet personally, but
I would agree with you. I think Garen Hatchet, there's a good chance they can still land Garen Hatchet. I agree. But not landing Landon, I think, is a big loss. I really do. But we'll see what happens with Garen. I think there's a good chance they land him.
I think they're going to land him, or he's not going back to Washington. So is he going to skip a year? I mean,
yeah, I don't see him going back to Washington either.
Yeah, the fumble by the Ravens today killed him.
Hey, can I just say something real quick while we're talking about NFL? I got to say something that bothers me. Two things. All the people that whine about Taylor Swift being shown on the TV, okay? You also need to whine because they showed Brock Purdy's parents, and they do it all the time with different players, and I don't hear people whining. So if you're going to complain about Taylor Swift, complain about Brock Purdy's parents in the stands that they showed multiple times. Another thing is this.
That's a bad take.
That's not a bad take. Hey, another thing is this. It bothers me when media members ask players, like the Brandon Ayuk play off a tip, what was going through your mind during that play? Listen, it's reaction. These players, They're playing football. It's a bobbled ball. I mean, you think they're going to sit here and tell you, well, it was at this degree, and I thought I could get underneath. I mean, it's a silly question. Silly question.
It's absolutely, yeah.
It's moronic.
It's unbelievable.
Hey, Chuck, I'm bringing her up, so you better get used to it because the 49ers are playing the Chiefs. She's going to be all over the TV.
Hey,
so
Chuck.
Just be ready for it.
Chuck, Jay's a Swiftie. That's why.
I'm not a Swiftie.
Yeah, I have a bracelet. Look.
So you're a Swiftie.
It's not a Taylor Swift bracelet. This is scripture. Delight yourself in the Lord because he gives you delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. Psalm 37:4. So stop.
What is my era? Listen, my favorite era of Taylor Swift is when she was very young singing country music. I'll give you that. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, you can say whatever you want about Taylor Swift. It's going to be the most watched Super Bowl in the history of Super Bowls because one of the reasons is also because she's going to be there. So it is.
What are your thoughts on Greg Olsen? I didn't know Greg Olsen's the #1 Fox 23 guy.
Yeah, he's #1.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I thought he was pretty good. There's some things tonight he said that I disagreed with, but I'm not going to get onto that.
Yeah. Hey, so listen, we mentioned the Hatchet brothers. Landon is out. Pulled his name from the portal. I for one, when I saw that he put Purple Rain, I actually went to the second definition of Purple Rain. But
there isn't a second definition.
There absolutely is.
What is it?
It's the feeling of this desire of traveling and leaving your comfort. I thought that could have been, he's going to go to OU, but he's out for now. But there is a second definition of Purple Rain. So I thought maybe he's trolling Washington.
Well, read Garen's tweet. His original tweet when he left Washington was, "I'm out for now." That's what he said. Now, who knows? Yeah, listen, Ravens, and Topher says that Landon is out for now. So we'll see. I mean, there's a chance.
Me over Greg Olsen. I'll take it, baby. I'll take it.
Here's the thing about Landon. He's coming off a big injury. How much would he help next year anyway? Maybe he's going to listen, my opinion, maybe he's going to give these coaches a chance, but he could always transfer in the spring. He could always transfer next year.
Especially if his brother's here.
I think that, if his brother comes and has a great experience, I think that bodes well. So we'll see. But you got to let Garen first. You got to let Garen.
Yeah, and I tell you the other thing about the Hatchet, there are people who said, and I'm just going to say this. I hope no Sooner fan would say it. But if you go 0 for 2 on them,
that's not good.
It's a bad look.
It's not good, especially when they made one visit, and that was to Oklahoma.
They didn't visit anywhere else.
Correct. So it would be bad.
Very bad. Very, very bad. Huge junior day yesterday, Jay. No commitments as of yet.
Massive day, though. You got guys like a lot of things look good for Torrey Blaylock. Seen a lot of stuff on Twitter, Futurecast. That would be great. 4-star running back. Obviously, Landon Reed's getting some kind of push on Twitter. Now, the old Texas connection, so I don't think a commitment's coming or anything. I think we talked about it last night. Some people said maybe 1 to 2 commitments from this junior day. We'll see. I think 2 would be great. I think 1 they're going to get. I think 2 would be great. But
Kim, OU offered both of them. Correct?
Yeah, both Hatchet brothers, yes.
And I think Mez brings up a great point. It's something we mentioned really a lot. Is I'm going to say this, and this is not sunshine pumping because I don't just sunshine pump. If you ask every offensive coach at OU right now, they would say they are happy with who they have at offensive line and the depth. Now, they're not gonna say they didn't want Garen Hatchet or Landon Hatchet to become Sooners, but I think we're all kidding ourselves if we don't think the 2024 class is really, really good. It's that, and I read an article on SI that was written, I think it was by Hoover. Fabechi and Weewa is going to be probably better than most expected as well.
I agree. I'm not saying they're not, but I think you need some experience right away. And that's why I think Garen Hatchet would be huge because he's got playing experience, okay? Some of these guys don't.
He's the one of the – if you could choose a brother, just like most people would choose me over you, I mean, if you could choose –
baloney. Stop.
Just like God chose Jacob and hated Esau.
What are you wearing, by the way?
What am I wearing? I think most people would choose Garen Hatchet.
What are you wearing though? He's the older brother, correct?
Yes.
So that'd be me. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm wearing a sweater with the nice jacket I found in my closet.
Somebody said your hair looks darker tonight. Are you using that hair dye for men?
Must be the camera.
Are you using that hair stuff for men?
Sasquatch.
Yeah, you're in a different room tonight. Are those Taylor Swift pictures behind you?
I've got to complain. No, it's Kobe. It's my son's room. I got to complain about something. My son went into Walmart. We said he needs some deodorant. He goes in there. He comes out, $14 thing of deodorant. Unreal.
No way. $14?
$14.
Was this like an all natural?
It was Sasquatch, dude.
Oh, Sasquatch. Yeah, that's expensive stuff.
Unreal. $14.
Yeah, I think so, Mark.
Jay, who was your favorite G.I. Joe guy growing up?
Favorite G.I. Joe? Dusty.
I like Monkey Wrench. Remember Monkey Wrench?
Let's not talk about G.I. Joe tonight. Hey,
Monkey Wrench was great.
Yeah, did he buy a PlayStation cord? You might want to check what else he bought. Did you check the receipt?
My wife was in there with him, Jay.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes was legit.
Snake Eyes is great. What was the water guy?
Oh, what was the water guy? That should be a trivia.
It wasn't Aquaman.
Hey, wasn't there a barbecue man, firefighter guy? Firefighter guy was barbecue man.
I don't know. Let's get off of G.I. Joe, though. Seriously.
Let's do it. Let's get off G.I. Joe.
Hey, so Junior Day, we mentioned it. And we talked a little bit about it last night. There has been a lot of stuff on Twitter, like we said, with Torrey Blaylock. Jeremy, if they do land Torrey Blaylock, 4-star running back, how many running backs do you think they take this class?
Well, I think some of it.
You think they take 2?
I think some of that. I think you have to take 2. But some of it.
What about? I'll give you a name. And I think a lot of people think 1, and then Grey God says 1. I think a lot of people say, but what about the running back from Oklahoma, decommitted from Knighton, decommitted from Vanderbilt? He's the number 1 running back in Oklahoma. Could that be more of like somebody I was talking to said on the street said, well, that'd be something like an Andy Bass deal. I disagree. I think Knighton's, he's pretty highly recruited, but I don't know.
Again, I don't know what's going to happen. In the spring, you may lose a guy or 2.
That's the thing. That's what
So you never know. They may lose a guy or 2, and there it is. There it is. It's every single night. Tanya Shipman is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable,
Big
Tanya.
time,
Thank
Tanya.
you. Check
Thanks
your
so
email,
much, Tanya.
Tanya, we sent you a link to the Discord. We'd love to have you in it. Join up free of charge because of how much you do for our channel.
Jackson, Christian Jones is an absolute stud. He would be a great get. Agree. Chester, I agree, and I would take the next Junior Day more importantly in March. I think that's the one to really more keep an eye on.
Tanya's like the sun. Hey, death, taxes, and Tanya's going to give a super every single night.
It's about tax season, bro. About that time.
It is. Tanya's unbelievable. Hey, Jay, running backs. If there's one they lose, because I think there's a possibility. I think there's possibility.
Who would that be, in your opinion?
After spring, I think if the writing is clearly on the wall, that someone's not going to play, there's someone that could lead, that could jump ship.
Yeah, and Emmanuel Choice, 6'5", wide receiver. Big time. And he was OU's first. OU was his first offer, so I think that could mean something there, maybe.
Hey, what do you think about the tweet, Jay?
Caleb Cunningham, I think that's probably going to be a top 5 or something tomorrow is what he's going to drop. He did release the Boomer Sooner afterwards, so I think OU will be in the top 5. I don't know if they land Caleb Cunningham, but and a lot of the guys we're talking about are not going to commit till later on. This is just talk right now.
All I know is that tweet with Emmett Jones in the middle dropping the horns was unbelievable.
Caleb Topher's in the know pretty well. I will say that, him and Bobby. Topher says Caleb probably dropping top 10.
You said top 5, Jay.
Yeah. What's up with the portal lineman? Been off Twitter for a week or so. Nothing. Landon's not coming, it sounds like, for now. He's going back to Washington.
Landon was on social media today.
Who?
Landon.
Yeah, basically he's going back to Washington for now. Guerin, I think we still land Guerin. I
still think Guerin's a strong possibility to be a Sooner. But
Hunter said probably top 5 on Caleb. And Jeremy Wright and Craig. Hey, welcome, Craig. How are you tonight? Hey,
ATL Craig.
Craig says, looks like we will have a top 5 class in 25. What do you think? Yes or no?
Well, if you land for Susie,
no,
you do.
No, not if you land. Yes or no? Top 5 class.
I'll say 7th.
Okay.
I'll say top 10, not top 5. I'm not sure we'll land for Susie.
Yeah, I think Fasusi's going to be. That's going to be a tough one. We'll see. Not sure.
A lot of
7.
People
Chuck
7.
says 7. Purple Orca says 7.
7 seems to be the number. Someone earlier mentioned they think Hicks is going to get a lot of run. Good to hear from you too, ATL Craig. Hey, a lot of people think that they're going to get a lot of run. Hicks. If he does, then they're either going to play 2 backs a lot, or Xavier Robinson, Tatum, Barnes. Those guys aren't getting a sniff.
I think the one, if you're talking about a back transferring, to me, it would be Barnes or Hicks if they don't play much.
That's my guess.
That would be the only 2. I mean, the other guys are freshmen coming in. So,
O'Shea, it was O'Shea that said that. And O'Shea, we'll see in the spring. I foresee 2 backs at least 30% of the time.
Oh, I think you're fooling yourself for that.
Okay,
that's
I've watched.
That is you wanting your opinion.
No, it's not me, Jason.
Yeah, it is.
No, I'll tell you what I've done.
What are you basing?
I went and watched Arizona.
What are you basing that off of?
Can I talk? I went and watched Arizona, North Carolina when Seth Latrobe was the coordinator, and some in North Texas. He plays probably 20% 2-back set.
You just said 30. Which one is it?
I think they're going to up it a little.
All right, fair.
For the SEC.
I would like to see some 2-back. Hey, you know what else I would like to see? I know it's a different game. Watch the Chiefs, dude. They play two tight ends a lot. And
Dallas, a lot of pro teams play 2 tight ends.
I would like to see it. If you have the tight ends, that's the problem. Do you have the tight ends? Now this year, maybe.
And Jen knows North Texas.
Jen follows North Texas a lot. So
so there, Jen. I'm not the only one.
Hey, Jen, what percentage do you think it would be on 2-back set? Because I know I think you maybe have seasoned. You go to a lot of North Texas stuff. So
I might would lower to 25%, but I'm going to stick with 30.
All right, that's fair, man. That's your opinion. That's fine.
And someone said, I think it was.
It's going to be hard to do 2-back though when you have all the receivers they have. Is all I'm saying. What are you not going to play, a tight end or what? Because they got receivers all over the place, dude.
4 receivers instead of 5.
And Mess is right. Georgia runs a lot of 2 tight end. I love the 2 tight end set. I love
it. And I think that there's more than you think that run 2 running backs.
And O'Shea, Hunter knows more about baseball than we do, but Hunter, you're not thinking Tatum's going to play much baseball this year, right? Because of his injury?
Not freshman year.
Don't even bring it up, Mark. Don't bring it up.
Bring it up, Mark. Tatum's not at OU, and he won't be until after high school's over. Yeah, we know that.
They're talking about next year, though. That's what I'm talking about, next year.
Yeah. His freshman year, I don't look for him to play much. I think Caleb Hicks.
I didn't mean this year. Sorry, Hunter. That's not what I meant.
Not baseball this year. Football this year, he's saying. Jay.
Yeah.
I think Caleb Hicks really, really, really could be pretty special.
I think Caleb Hicks is really, really good. I would agree. Go up here. What was it? Hook 'em. We have not. We're not going to get one of them, Landon Hatchet. We'll see if we get Guerin. We have not landed him yet. Hunter, maybe drop in the chat about James Nest. I think he's got a great future in baseball. I do.
Absolutely does. 95 miles an hour. I don't know if I would even be. I mean, that could be his future.
And Hunter, drop his perfect game rating. I know we've talked about this before, but drop it in the chat. I know you know it. Chief Teamer says, I would have rather run more 2 running back sets and always have a wasted tight end. Tight ends were a non-factor last year. Correct. I agree.
And I think Chuck said he'd rather have 2 tight ends. Hey, Sooner Legends, thanks for being on. How can the night get any better? Sooner Surge, the Sooners, and Stevie Ray Vaughan. Okay.
Stevie Ray Vaughan. Got some Stevie Ray Vaughan going. It is almost softball season, Jackson. Big time. 11 days?
12 days.
Tyler says, I'm not big on Sawchuk or Bun. See, I disagree, Tyler. I'm huge on Sawchuk.
I'm big on Sawchuk.
I'm big on Sawchuk, bro.
Absolutely. Hunter says Nesta is eligible to play. Absolutely shocked if he plays for OU this year. The pitching staff is loaded. He just got to Norman this month. Yeah.
Hey, no reason to apologize, Lori. As long as we're not late, because we got called out for it. But
someone docked our pay, so it's all good.
Our co-OC is a tight end guy. They better get catches. Yeah, I agree. They got to use the tight ends more. Hit that like. Hit it. Hit
the like. 9.5 out of 10 on perfect game.
Yeah, so that's highly rated.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's up, Anthony? How are you tonight?
SR Stevie Ray Vaughan, when he was good, the real deal for sure. Yeah. Jay, look, we're January 29th tomorrow.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
The next signing day, February, not really anything's going to happen for OU because they've already signed their class. Correct?
Say that again.
Early signing period came. OU signed 27, I believe.
Okay.
They're not going to sign. I mean, there's another signing period in February, but that's really meaningless to Oklahoma.
Moving on. Yeah.
I'm saying some schools will be kind of building to that, but OU's already done the work.
Yeah, OU's got pretty much what they're going to get. And we've talked JUCO before. I don't think there's a whole lot you're going to do there. Listen, they got to get down on some scholarships, Jeremy. So they got to get they're going to have some people leave in the spring, I think. Don't you?
Absolutely. They absolutely are. You already know my thoughts on that. Yep, Sooner Legends. Sooner Legends, right. Join up on the Sooner Surge Unlimited member. Join our Discord. It's fun. Jay, I've already said, in my opinion, my top guy of who I think is going to be leaving, but I don't need to hash it out here every single night.
No, and
I'm not going to talk about it tonight.
No, I don't think there's a reason to. Hey, somebody asked a question. I don't know if it was on the live or about special teams next year.
That's a good topic.
Right now, if you were picking your kicker, is it Liam Evans you think going to win the job?
My hope is Liam Evans is the kicker. And let me explain why. A kicker, and yeah, Lori, I hope you feel better soon. Appreciate you being on here even though you're sick. That's commitment. When you're talking about a kicker, guys, a kicker outside of development, don't need that. Strength already has it. Pressure, that's really the only thing you got in big pressure moments. But I'm for one would rather see a freshman kicker be there for 4 years because they're not going to go pro early, and you're just better in the long run if he can do the job.
If he can do the job, and that's it. And
it does you no good to play a junior or senior kicker.
But I think kicker's a position you don't know what you got until a game time because
absolutely.
You can kick
they
all
can
day
all make them in practice, Jay,
without pressure on until you get in an actual game atmosphere. And maybe that was a problem with Zach Schmidt. Maybe he's lightened up in practice, and Venable's thinking, "Man, this guy, who else am I going to play? He's so good. Can't do it in the game though. That's the problem."
Yeah, Hunter's got a good point about the nightly encore every night after these. Chuck, do I and the way you worded this, Chuck, is absolutely brilliant. It's almost like you're a pastor or something.
Are you in a recliner?
What?
Are you in a recliner tonight?
No, I'm in an office chair.
Oh yeah, you're kind of
Hey, listen, Chuck, you interrupted me again. This is every single night.
I interrupt you?
Chuck had it worded great.
Wait, Jeremy. Wait. You can get to your point in a minute, but how do I interrupt you when literally almost every time I talk, you can't let me get a word in?
The difference, I interrupt you when it's a good time to. I'm sitting there trying to talk about a viewer's comment, and you're going to interrupt. Do you think they will let Jaden Gibson show his stuff? And that is the question. Because I promise you this, Gibson's going to show his stuff.
He did last year.
He's going to show his stuff if he gets to.
He played. Jeremy, a lot of people think you do kind of have a Ryan Day look about you. Hey, let me see your face real quick.
Ryan Day.
Show your camera the face. Let me see it. Turn to the side.
It must be the yellow sweater with this green.
Dude, turn to the side. If you could get your cheeks a little puffier, Ryan Day look like. Not lying.
I'm feeling nostalgic with this old jacket that
I think you did dye your hair, did you?
No. I will say this. This may sound weird. I've been using my beard oil in my hair, it's legit. I don't know if I'm supposed.
You have beard oil?
Yeah, I go all in. When I do something, I go all in. I want a beard. I'm going to buy beard oil.
Do you go to a place do you have do you go get facials and stuff?
No, absolutely not.
Good.
Jeez, Jay. Ryan Day dyes his hair as shoe polish nights. Yeah, Jay's thinking of Taylor.
Hey, speaking of Ryan Day, Ohio State, what do you think? This year coming up?
If they don't win this year, he's got the entire defense back, and Jim Knowles may be arguably one of the best coordinators in football.
But here's the problem with them. Quarterback.
Will Howard, dude.
He ain't it. Sorry.
First trivia question right now.
I got one. Oh, you got one?
I just thought of one. It's going to be an extra one. No, Lori, I am getting gray hair. Dealing with Jason every night and having to mess with his crap.
Boom.
It's
Will
great.
Howard in it. You're right.
Jay, Will Howard. I said Will the Thrill. I'm alluding to an old baseball player, my favorite guy, Will the Thrill Clark. Drop his number for me and who he played for. Trivia.
Dude, you come up with a random trivia. It's ridiculous.
Hey, who is it? Number and who he played for. Will the Thrill Clark.
Jackson better get it. He's a Giants fan.
You got half of it. You got the Giants. Give him half a point. The number is not right.
22.
Bobby Wiley, 22 Giants. Give Chief T-Bird a point, though. He said Giants first, and I love Chief T-Bird.
Hey, while we're on trivia, I got the actual trivia for night for another one. Okay?
Craig from ATL got it.
Hey, here's
the next. Jay, but before you ask it, Craig's from ATL. Remember Sid Green, Jay?
Yeah, I did.
I love Dale Murphy. Dale Murphy was so good.
Here we go. Trivia, actual trivia of the night. Brock Purdy, lowest rated quarterback to ever play in a Super Bowl. Who's the low? He's the second lowest. Who's the lowest?
I got some guesses.
This should be easy, dude.
I got some guesses.
In fact, this person was undrafted because the only way you can be lower than Brock Purdy is to be undrafted. Who is it? It's easy. Come on. This should be easy. You don't have to go that far back. Not Nick Foles. No. Not Nick Foles.
It's not Nick Foles.
There it is. Kurt Warner. Who's first one? C.S. Land?
Have you seen that movie, Jay?
Kurt Warner. American Hero, baby.
No, American Underdog.
American Underdog. Sorry. Kurt Warner.
There's been some bad NFL Super Bowl quarterbacks. Brad Johnson.
Wait, you're saying Kurt Warner was bad?
No, I said Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer.
But okay.
Jeez.
Kurt Warner, baby.
Hey, so I got something. Let's drop a poll of hunters on here to drop a poll for us.
Drop a poll time.
It's poll time. You brought up special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I think maybe the only good thing about special teams last year, the only thing was they went with El Zinga on punting. It tremendously improved. That's one thing. A second thing that I think improved was the fact that OU really didn't allow a lot of kickoff returns and punt returns. Coverage was pretty good. But drop it in the poll. If you're the head coach, you're the head football coach at Oklahoma, you make the decision, who is your return man on punts next year?
I'm skipping that, Mark.
Get that off the screen.
Hey,
who is it, Jay?
Lost my train of thought.
Petaway.
A lot of people saying Petaway. What about Raggins? What about this?
Not next year.
I know probably for injury, no, but I would love to see Peyton Bowen back there.
I don't think they're going to. And listen.
The same with Billy Bowman. They won't do it.
They won't do it with Bowman. Too valuable. Now, Deion Burks is an option, but
Burks.
Here would be
what about Farouk?
Shut up. And
what
someone said Freeman. Maybe it's going to be.
What about Farouk? Bomb says Farouk. Maybe not the fumbler. He's saying Freeman.
Hey, this
what's up, Bomb? How are you tonight?
I agree with Selwyn and all these others that have put Petaway, and let me explain why over Thompson. I'm about as high on Brennan Thompson as anyone, maybe as high as even Chief is on him. But here's what I would say. I think Brennan Thompson is more of the receiver guy. I think Petaway, just in my opinion, can find a niche in that area if he's not going to be on the field as much otherwise. I would rather have Petaway returning for kicks.
Yeah. I think they got a lot of options, and that's
now,
why.
Punts. Thompson on kickoff return, absolutely.
Here's my thing, and this was probably a concern last year for me, is Farouk had that punt return. Freeman had that punt return for a touchdown early on, right? And then he starts struggling a little bit. Has a few games where he just kind of fumbling it, bobbling it, whatever. I was very frustrated that they didn't at least throw somebody else in there. Because you can't tell me on a team of Oklahoma, you do not have another guy that can at least, okay, if a guy's struggling, maybe for him to snap out of it, sit him down for a minute, try somebody else out. I was very frustrated they didn't even give anybody an option. Very frustrated on that.
And Dalpois, that's why I said Petaway maybe more than Thompson. But I'll say this. Someone mentioned that, and it is the yips. Jay, it's the yips. Go back and watch Rick Ankiel pitch. It's the yips. Tiger Woods chip at that point. Listen. What I was going to say about Brennan Thompson. Someone said Brennan Thompson's fast on the team. In my opinion, fastest is more of a kickoff return. Punt is a little bit different animal.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying in that?
I know what you're saying. And Ron, I don't think they did put Stoops back there this year. He used to be back there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was this year. Man, I was going to get to a comment here.
Now maybe they do play a young guy who's not going to play much, and that's his role. I don't know. Kyla's on here and commenting, and I got to say, Kyla, thanks for joining up and becoming a Sooner Surge Unlimited member.
Appreciate
it. You joined like 15 minutes before this live went on. You joined. Appreciate you doing that today.
Look at the comment right up your alley, Jeremy.
Is Farouk even going to play next year? To me, no room for him.
Bro.
Kyla, not only do I love you because you're a Sooner Surge Unlimited member, I love the fact that comment is made because I see eye to eye with you right there. Okay? I don't think there's any room there at the Oklahoma Inn for Jalil Farouk.
Mark's dropping some funnies in here tonight, I got to say. Listen, I see a lot of people dropping bash in here about punting return. Yeah, he would be great, but I don't think this year's the year with his injury. I just think it's going to be another year.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Eli Bowen, Jen says, and she watched him probably playing Denton, and Eli Bowen's another good one. I think Peyton or Eli at punt returner would be great.
And Burks may be a really good punt returner.
Yeah, Jay Durbin said that. What about Burks? I think Burks is a good option, as Jay said.
He's pretty stout. He's strong. Yeah, Andy Bass won't be healthy next year.
Yeah, that's what Jackson
Who
said.
else coming in that 2024 class? You had Raggins, you had Kearney, Zion Kearney. Who's the PWO? I'm losing it. I've lost it. Jackson O'Hunter will know it. PWO, maybe he isn't a PWO. 4-star guy.
Eric says you don't win Texas or BYU without Farouk.
Who said that?
Eric. I
disagree with Eric. So that whatever.
He had a good game at Texas. He did.
Okay, I agree. He did.
And BYU, he had a pretty good game. But at the same point, you can say that against BYU. But Eric, at the same point, you can say they win the game against Arizona without Farouk. So,
and I know, and Bobby agrees with Eric. But let me ask you this, Eric: would Jaden Gibson have made those plays?
Don't know.
Jaden Gibson caught everything in sight this year.
No, he had a drop in one of the big games. He dropped one.
Farouk did too, Jay.
I know. I'm just telling you, dude. I'm telling you facts, dude.
Eric, do not get me started and get me upset. The bowl game did not matter for last year. It didn't. It mattered for 2024. That was the point. So play the other guys. They should have played the younger guys in the bowl game because it didn't matter for last year.
Well, Josh Bates should have for sure played center. Right?
Yes.
He's coming for you, Jerm. Eric.
He comes for me on the Discord, too. I love it. I'm here.
Mark says
Eric needs to change his meme or his avatar to like Dion's "I'm coming after you."
What's up, Chad? Hey, let's get to Chad.
There is news.
Appreciate it. He's a member as well. Just got on here, guys. Any news on Hatchet Brothers? Here's the news. Landon tweeted today. Sounds like he's going back to Washington for now. Garen,
unless there's a second meeting in that.
Garen, no news.
Garen's either going to go to OU or get out of football, I guess.
I think Garen ends up at Oklahoma. I'll say that.
And I got to get to Eric again in a second, but Jay, heard Petaway younger brother, that was his cousin, not his younger brother.
It was his cousin, and a lot of they were kind of thinking he was probably going to end up at A&M. Here's what you got to concern. I mean, if Petaway doesn't play much this year, then you got to worry that he might. That's the problem. Listen, that's the problem you have now with the transfer portal. If you don't play the youngsters, they could say bye-bye to you. That's part of the issue. It's true. I mean, it's a fact.
Absolutely. And Eric, I, for one, went into that bowl game thinking Farouk was leaving at the end of it. Look, I wouldn't have played his butt. Here's why. Before the bowl game, the week leading up to it, he said, I most likely will be back next year. I would have sat him then. He said,
Why?
I most likely will come back after the bowl game. Like, bye. Sayonara.
Hey,
I'll be saying,
hey,
aloha.
Let me switch gears for a minute. A lot of talk about the offensive line and Bill Beatenbow. Rightfully so. If they don't land either Hatchet, it's an issue. You get them to visit, and then neither of them commit, that's an issue. Now, are you concerned at all that all you're hearing right now from all the NFL dudes, Tyler Guyton, how awesome Tyler Guyton is, how unbelievable Tyler Guyton is. Now, obviously, Beatenbow had a part in developing that, but do you feel like they kind of wasted him? I don't feel like they really used the running game to his side, and yes, he's a better pass protector, but I kind of feel like you have that good of a tackle. I don't know. I kind of felt like, well, they kind of just, this year was kind of blah. Yeah, he's great, but they didn't really take advantage of it, did they?
No.
Watch anybody. They all talk about how great the guy's going to be, unbelievable in the NFL.
And Chuck, how about this, Chuck? I will stop bashing him. I was frustrated that game because single-handedly those plays he failed to make and fumbled killed OU, period. But I won't keep bashing Farouk. I, for one, don't think he's going to be a Sooner after the spring unless he's going to realize that he's going to play a lot. I don't know if he will, but I agree with Jay Durbin. The whole Walker thing was weird to me as well. The fact that they played him so much, even though Caleb Hicks should have played in the bowl game. You cannot tell me Caleb Hicks should have got all the carries Tommy Walker got. All of them.
Yeah, I agree. Tommy Walker pretty much
every one of them.
Yeah, pretty much said he was leaving, and then he played. And that's when Eric can say it wasn't about last year, but they acted like it was about last year because they were playing Tommy Walker and he was leaving. So, I mean,
I never called Farouk a hero after Texas. I think he played pretty good.
Well, and guys, let me
he wasn't the hero.
Let me say something. Jeremy loves to, when he has a guy, he's going to go all in on. He's going to bash, and there's no changing. Just like Jeremy, I saw somebody on here say, if you're going to bash Farouk, bash Arnold, and you do kind of when you get one guy, you're going to just drive that baby home. You do kind of do that. Come on, admit it.
Okay, first off,
admit it, dude. Admit it.
The bomb just dropped one here.
He dropped a bomb. Good, thanks, bomb. Appreciate it. And he's an Eric. He's an Eric too.
He's offended by other Eric's comments, maybe about Farouk. Is that the comment?
Probably.
Hey,
I don't think.
First off, I want to know what heroic play did Farouk make on the last drive?
Who said he made a hero play?
Hunter. He caught a ball and got yacked yards after catch.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a hero play at all.
Jeez.
I wouldn't call it a hero play.
I can name 6 catches that Jaden Gibson made that were better than anything Farouk made all year. I remember an OSU game where Dylan Gabriel, of course, underthrew him on these. And you could have argued there was some interference. Farouk couldn't make the play, Jay.
Well, to me, Farouk's biggest, the thing he's best.
It wasn't a heroic play, Hunter.
The thing
wow.
that Jalil Farouk is best at, and I think most people on here would admit it, was his yak. When he yards after catch, he's pretty good. Is he not?
Every now and then he's not consistent at all, Jay. He doesn't break a lot of tackles.
I think what Eric's getting to on the Jackson Arnold stuff, because me and you have had this argument till we're blue in the face, is I think Jackson Arnold's going to be out of this world. I think he's an awesome quarterback. Now, listen, but you guys you were getting ready to interrupt me. I saw it. You also have to admit he had some problems in the bowl game, right?
I am not going to
first start. I get it, and that's what I'm saying. But to say he didn't have any issues is wild.
Jalil Farouk's been there 3 years. Are we going to start seeing more from him? How many touchdowns did he score last year?
I'm not arguing that.
I don't know why we're talking about Jackson Arnold 5 for 9 in his first game he's ever played in a big game. I don't understand how that has to do with Jalil Farouk.
Hey, I would like to ask Eric this question.
And wait, Copenhagen. You're right. Maybe Farouk stayed because he's going to take over where Drake Stoops plays, and maybe he's going to be out of this world there. He might be. And I'll give him props when he is. He wasn't a number one receiver on the outside. That was not his thing. Maybe he's going to kill it in the slot. I hope he does. I really do.
Yeah, and it was his first start. I know that, Chuck. I know that was his first start. I'm not saying he's not going to be good. But you guys, I think anybody on here that doesn't think he's going to have a little bit of struggle in the SEC his first year, I think you're putting way too many expectations on Jackson Arnold. Okay?
He's going to have struggles.
Every
player has struggles.
What?
Every player has struggles.
I know. And that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to say something else.
Some of the expectations you're putting on is almost like this guy's going to be
no, Jay, and look, I'm not here to bash, okay? That's not my job. I'm not here to bash, but I watch game after game after game after game after game. You want me to keep going? After game. Farouk does not get much separation from his defender. I'm not making it up. Go to the 5-yard slant. Listen, wait. Go to 5-yard slants, 7-yard slants, 10-yard slants that Farouk ran, and then go to Brennan Thompson when he was in.
No, you can't compare it to Brennan Thompson.
I'm talking even on slants, Jay. It was different.
Compare it to Drake Stoops, and that's totally different. Drake Stoops is the elite route runner. Have you seen him? He's elite.
Stoops didn't get separation on slants.
Stoops gets separations all day long. Okay.
Not on slants, he didn't. 5-yard slants.
And I think this is the problem. Tyler said it. It's the fumbles, dude. That's where you can't turn the ball over. Just like
maybe
if
he got the yips too. I don't know.
Year, it's going to be the same issue.
Maybe he got the yips too, Jay. Maybe he got the yips. Let me just say, I was very upset about Farouk, okay? I actually thought Farouk was going to be a great number one receiver. He didn't live up to the expectations. Fact. Can he in the slot? He can. But if he's in the slot, Burks is going to have to go outside because Burks, people are predicting to be OU's best receiver next year.
I do think that Jalil Farouk had a lot of expectations on him this year, and I think people thought he was just going to be awesome, and maybe he just didn't have a great year. And I think by his standards, he would admit that, and he may come back next year and be dynamite, dude. Nobody knows that, Jeremy. I think the jury's still out on that.
I agree. I'm going to tell you why.
But you're saying he won't be here next year, so.
Yeah, we'll see. And I think we'll see as far as what Michael Hammond said. Big-time players show up in their second year. Jackson's in his second year. We'll see what happens next year. But this point by Doppel is, why does Farouk's turnovers matter and Arnold's don't? The pick that Arnold threw in the fourth quarter, I think, where the linebacker kind of jumped that slant route, that mattered. Okay, but the fact of the matter is it was 31-13 if Farouk doesn't fumble that ball. And instead, in a snap of a finger, 31-13 is 24-20.
Correct.
That's why that one matters more. If we're going to
Correct.
say they all matter, that one
They all
matters way
matter.
more.
They all matter.
That one was elevated, highlighted, escalated, whatever you want to say.
Okay, and let me add, this is a great point. I want to transition this. Jackson Arnold gets a pass because of his lack of experience. Does Jackson Arnold get a pass next year?
No.
You don't think so?
He's going to have 4 games leading up to Tennessee. He'll by the time the gauntlet gets here, he should be more seasoned.
So he doesn't get a pass, even though it's basically his first year starting.
No, because he's going to have a game where he's going to throw the ball 40 to 50 times a game, 4 straight games.
And he is a 5-star.
And he's a 5-star.
Correct. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, 5-star. Michael Hammond put it 5-star. I think that's what you have to say. But there are 5-star quarterbacks, plenty of them, who kind of take a year or 2 to get going. So,
Alan Woody, Sooner Surge Unlimited member. It's been a while since you've commented, Alan.
Hey, Jay.
I think we need more. I was talking. But
okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Can I go back to his comment?
Yeah, sorry.
It's gone. Because Jason changed it. Jeez.
There it is.
I think we need more experience on the O-line. Just one more guy would be great. Garrett Hatchet would be the one guy.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Jay says, so Jason, you see Casey Thompson coming in if he struggles? No. Heck no, Jay. I'm not saying that. Jackson Arnold is the quarterback unless he's injured, okay? Now, that's the only reason I think Casey Thompson would get in is an injury. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying sometimes I think fans and a lot of people put so high of expectations on guys that when they mess up a little bit, it's like these expectations are so high. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think he's going to have some games next year where, and this is why I think it's so important. If you're a fan and you want OU to be at 9-3 or 10-2 or whatever it may be to make a chance at the playoff, this season is going to rest in the defense's hands because I think the defense has to be the strength of your team in the SEC and making a playoff, especially who you got coming back on the defensive side of the ball. Danny Stutzman, Billy Bowman, Woody Washington. That has to be, you need to go in, that needs to be the strength of your team, your defense. Yeah. Whereas you have some turnovers, you can overcome them because your defense is playing their butt off and they're making stops. That has to happen. It's year 3 in the Brent Venables system. Everybody said year 1 to year 2, big jump. Yes, they did. Now you're in year 3. They hired Brent Venables to be a defensive coach, to be the defensive turnaround, okay? Now it's got to happen right now in the SEC. Got to happen. Year 1. All these guys are back. Got to happen.
You done? Good job.
Yeah.
Jay Durbin's right in the fact that needs more options. You got to use the tight end. It's always great to have a safety valve and someone you trust. You're right, Jay. I agree with that. Bobby says, do you agree the last 2 years the O-line was average? I disagree. I think it was slightly above average both of those years.
This year was average.
I still think it was slightly above average in the fact
above
that
average this year.
I guess it depends on your definition of average, because if you go look at the sacks, OU's probably least sacked team in the Big 12. If you go look at rushing yards the second half of the year, OU is probably number 1 in the Big 12.
You know what I think of when I think of average? To me, offensive line, when the game's on the line, can you push people off the ball and get first downs? I don't think they can do it this year. So I'm calling it average.
Well, part of that could have been also.
That to me is an elite good offensive line. When you can win the game with your offensive line down the stretch, they couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I would say to this. Any head turners in practice at receiver, the only thing I've seen about turning heads early has been Danny Okoye, and some others have. But, Mez, here's what I would say. Everyone told OU fans last year Petaway and Freeman were turning heads. They said they were the best 2 guys. We really didn't see either one at receiver, and I don't think OU fans wanted to see one of those at receiver. So I don't know. Take that for what it's worth.
Chief Tebow said run blocking D, pass blocking B plus. That equals an average. Hub says run blocking below average. Adam says, I think the O-line is going to be better than people think. O-line couldn't block to run the ball, Mark says. Tyler would like to see some of our performances at work.
I'd like to see some of y'all's performance at work.
Yeah.
Like in football, or what's he talking about? Our actual job?
I think your job. I think he's talking about your job.
I'm a teacher, Tyler. I try to bring passion every day. That's the main thing. I teach English, so I have to. Otherwise, kids will sleep.
And I'll say this. I mean, not y'all. I'll say this. The days of I know a lot of people say don't bash players. I get it, but these college players are now almost professional play. They're getting paid. I mean, right?
Yeah, I have a problem when people say, "Oh, poor guys." They're getting a free education and paid to play. So,
okay, Sealit. Sealit says until BB puts out a bad offensive line, continue to believe he's going to put a good product on the field. Hasn't failed yet. I will disagree a little bit in the fact that, okay, maybe hasn't failed yet, but they've had some rough. This year, I think, was rough. And I don't think last year was, I wouldn't say last year was good offensive line either.
Okay.
I mean, compared to what he's done in the past. Now, I do think this year, depending on some things, they could be good. They're young and inexperienced. They're unproven. Nobody knows. Unproven.
Bobby says, explain the 2 tight end set, how that would work in the SEC. I don't follow.
Georgia does it.
Georgia does it, I know. And there's others. What I think it does, it allows you to go run heavy if you want, but also when you got 2 guys who can catch and block, it's a game changer. People don't know if you're going to run or throw with those 2 guys in there. It just changes things. Play action is unbelievable with 2 tight end sets.
I agree. And what is Dalpo saying? Don't get mad that when they leave. And he's talking about if we bash players.
Yeah.
Or what? I don't blame players for leaving. To me, players can go make the most money wherever they want to go play. And I think that's fair. I'm not going to bash a player for leaving. If they want to go play for somebody else money, go for it. The NFL is not a longevity. I mean, you got to make as much money as you can early.
And Adam is exactly right. Adam,
that's right.
Surge Unlimited member. If you don't have elite tight ends, it's kind of pointless. It's going to look bad.
Correct.
OU's got 3 probably really good ones this year, maybe 4.
3, I think. I mean, you can't. Donovan Mitchell. I think Bauer Sharp's pretty good, personally.
Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, what'd I say?
You said Donovan.
Yeah, Devon Mitchell. Sorry.
Devon Mitchell. Look, you got Devon Mitchell, Blake. You got the 2 transfers, Jake Roberts, okay?
Yeah.
Sharp. And then you got Caden Helms, who might be back. That's 4, I think, pretty good guys coming out in the tight end. And if OU doesn't change some things scheme-wise and utilize that, then that's going to be bad.
Hey, great point by the fan stop, because they have a tight relationship. We know that. And they've worked together before. So I think it will be a kind of a match made in heaven. I do think the running game will be a lot better. I agree with fan stop. And also, this is a great point too, Eric. You can go hurry up without having to sub, forcing the defense to keep some defense on the field, forcing offensive advantage. That's a big point. Good point, Eric.
Yeah, and going back when you were just talking, Jay, about the tight end room, and go back to fan stop's point again, real quick, Jay, if you can find that for me, or Hunter. The running will be better. Look, the other thing about that, what I liked about that, Bill Beatenbow, if he's more comfortable, you put a true serum in Bill Beatenbow, I'm not sure he was a fan of what Levy was doing. You think that's accurate?
Maybe not. I also think Bill Beatenbow has struggled for 2 years trying to get the strength of the offensive line back when Benny Wiley left. Because Jerry Schmidt.
There is
you heard when Jerry Schmidt came in how weak the offensive line was, strength-wise. So I think he's had to build that up. I think all of it plays kind of together. But I do think Seth Luttrell and Bill Beatenbow working together is going to be a great team. I think them two together.
Pilates to bench press. I mean, that had to change. Pilates to bench press.
Yeah.
Fanstop does have great shirts. Check them out.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
No more stretch bands.
No more stretch bands. That's right.
Yeah. Hey, Downpost, real quick. Hey, listen, People could be mad that Caden Green left. That's fine. Kudos to him, though. He made more money. I'm not going to, yeah, I could be mad at him for leaving Oklahoma because I'm a fan of Oklahoma. But at the same point, if he's going to get, I'm just throwing a number there. I don't know what if he gets $1 million more a year for going to another school? Can you blame the kid? $1 million.
I absolutely can blame him. And I know
How can you blame him? If it was your son, would you blame him?
Yes, I would. We're on opposite sides of this.
Okay,
I've had this argument with you before.
How can you blame somebody for making more money for themselves?
Here's what I would say to you, Jay. Caden Green got offered the number he wanted here, is what everyone said. They matched it. I would hope my son, if he's at a program and everything that's going on there he likes, and they offer him the money that he wants, he wouldn't bail on him.
Okay.
Now, I, for one, wouldn't pull him out. I think there's something to be said for loyalty, integrity, things like that. That's just me. Maybe I'm a too much believer in that kind of stuff.
I think this is more the reason, the way he did it.
It's the way he did it. Absolutely, it is, Robbie.
I think if he would have said, hey, I'm going to go play there. They got a good NIL package I want. I'm going to go play there and be done with it. And that's been fine. But, Jeremy, you can't blame kids for doing it when coaches are doing it all the time.
You got me there, Jay. I mean, I agree with that.
And
adults
here's the thing:
some of the worst.
Is Caden Green going from Oklahoma to Missouri? Do you think his draft status is going to drop a ton?
Drop? No.
So he's not hurting his future NFL career. He's just making more money in college.
And it's a bad look. It
might be a bad look, but can you blame him? Is what I'm saying. 10 years down the road. I don't know. It's a tough decision. I agree with the way he did it was wrong. But I'm not going to sit here and blame kids for trying to get more money. That's what the NIL is, man. Right now.
Hey,
until they fix it.
I know we got to get off here. It's almost been an hour. We got to thank some people tonight. First off, all the Sooner Surge viewers, you're great again. Fred Kirk says that Purdue kid Burks will run punts back. And before I get off here and thank some people, I got to respond to Eric real quick. If another school district offered me an extra $100,000, actually,
Jeremy, you can't answer that.
I absolutely can. I love where I'm at. I've had opportunities to go elsewhere. I love where I'm at, and for my family's sake, this is best for us. Now, $100,000 is a lot, and I can't say I wouldn't, but come on, don't pose me with that question. Big thanks tonight to Kyla Anderson, becoming a new Sooner Surge Unlimited member. Big thanks to Tanya for the super, to Chad Gamble for the super, to Eric the Bomb for the super, and everyone else who's been on here chatting it up. Let me answer Fred here. Went and saw my dad this afternoon.
I talked to him. His speech is way better.
His speech is better. He's kind of down that he's still fighting this. He's in skilled nursing. He wants to go home. Again, we need some help in helping him get home. We need a full-time caregiver to be with him all the time. Appreciate your prayers continual for our dad. And as Chief T-Bird says, it's a great community here. Hop on. Get on the Sooner Surge Unlimited, as Hunter said. If you want an encore of what happened tonight, we continue this chat throughout the evening on to tomorrow. But you got to be a Sooner Surge Unlimited member first. Thanks for the prayers. Thanks for everyone who's been on here. It's the Niners and Chiefs, a rematch of a couple years ago.
Who you got?
Super Bowl this year.
Who you got?
I'm going Chiefs.
I'm going Chiefs too. Yep.
And appreciate everyone. We'll see you all tomorrow night. Till next time. Boomer.
Sooner.